Welcome back to Crawford-Clark Close-Up as we're continuing our journey through the Pixar back catalogue as we edge closer to the release of the highly anticipated The Incredibles 2 this summer. So far we've welcomed toys, bugs, monsters, underwater life, superheroes and cars, and in 2007 Pixar went one step further, giving us a gourmet chef rat in their most ambitious feature yet, Ratatouille. Here are our thoughts on Pixar's 8th feature release. Pixar's previous feature Cars marked a turning point for the studio. From 2006 until 2013, the studio would release an unprecedented 8 feature films, basically one a year, and each successive feature would try to up the perfection of the last. Following the large box office grossings for the previous 5 features, Cars took just over $330 million, which would be impressive enough for most studios, but it was down on all the box office takings for the previous features, save A Bug's Life. Pixar knew they had to up their game, and the pitch for Ratatouille probably seemed like a bit of a stretch at first. A rat wants to make it as a chef, and with the assistance of an understanding human, makes it into a Parisian restaurant and surprises everyone with his culinary skills. It doesn't scream brilliance, and yet once again, in fact even more so this time around, Pixar amaze and delight with stunning animation in their first venture since Disney bought out the studio in 2006, with one of their finest protagonists in Remy the Rat. Within minutes, Pixar have audiences falling in love with Remy, given life by US comic stand-up Patton Oswalt. The animation is crisper than ever as he saves his family from getting poisoned and helps rescue his family from the clutches of an old lady in her house who happens to have a shotgun. As always, it's the little nuances that win Pixar brownie points, not just in the fine detail of the animation, but in the observations. For example, humans only hear a squeaky, high-pitched noise when the rats are talking to each other. The rats fleeing from the house and swimming downstream is a brilliant Pixar opening, with some of the most eye-opening animation the studio have given us up to this point. In his panic that he doesn't leave behind Chef Gusteau's inspirational Bible, Anyone Can Cook, in the crazy lady's house, he goes back for the book but loses his family downstream and finds himself alone. This is the first time in Pixar history that the protagonist narrates the story for us, which automatically makes us empathise with Remy's plight along the way. The ghost of Chef Gusteau leaps from the pages of his own cookbook, encouraging Remy to get up and explore his surroundings. And it's only when he does that he and the audience discover that Remy has made it to Paris, the home of culture and fine dining. The first really beautiful example of Pixar's genius in the film is Remy on the rooftop staring out over Paris at night with a clear view of the Eiffel Tower. Returning after a break of 3 years to composing duties is Michael Giacchino, who captures the mood of Paris elegantly with his once again Oscar-nominated score. How this sublime score didn't pick up the award that year, we'll never know. Ratatouille also marks the first time in almost 10 years of Pixar, since 1998's A Bug's Life, that we've focused on diminutive creatures and their perspectives. It is incredible to see how far this groundbreaking studio have come in such a short space of time. We're quickly introduced to the hustle and bustle of Gusteau's restaurant and the busy kitchen staff, from Skinner, the head chef, voiced to perfection by the great Ian Holm, to Jane-Ann Garofalo as the sassy, no-nonsense Colette, the only woman in the kitchen. Enter Linguini, another of Pixar's great underdogs, who is perfectly self-deprecating and looking for work at Gusteau's. When Linguini causes chaos in the kitchen and starts to add the wrong ingredients to the soup, it's time for the horrified onlooker Remy to step up to the plate and undo the mess. It's only when Linguini discovers Remy over by the soup trying to rectify Linguini's mistake that Linguini is ordered to take the rat out of the kitchen and kill it. Linguini wrestles with his conscience about having to kill our protagonist in a sweet moment that sets up all the characters' heart and pathos in one scene beautifully. What follows, in Linguini taking Remy back to his place and learning that Remy can cook, are many comedic moments of Remy experimenting in puppeteering Linguini, all the while hiding himself under Linguini's toque, which allows him access to the kitchens and free to create signature food. Paris is a character all its own in this film, a perfect setting for animation with its beautiful architecture. The colour palette of the film is extraordinary, and the lighting allows you to see every bit of hair on Remy and his band of rats. So far, this is undoubtedly the most engaging, detailed Pixar film since their debut Toy Story. As with most of Pixar's output, Ratatouille boasts a whole cast of lively characters. Skinner is a slimy villain, Remy is an adorable and relatable protagonist, Colette is sassy, Linguini is a sympathetic underdog, Gusteau is the film's moral heart, and Anton Ego, voiced by none other than the mighty Peter O'Toole, is one of Pixar's most interesting characters, the critic. There are so many standout moments to choose from as our favourite in Ratatouille that it's particularly challenging. But Anton Ego's review of Gusteau's, when he discovers that a rat has cooked his meal, is a lump-in-the-throat moment, and another allegory for the animation studio themselves. Continually breaking boundaries and experimenting with the new, Pixar embody and personify Ego's high praise.
Not everyone can become a great artist, but a great artist can come from anywhere.
To paraphrase the character, it is difficult to imagine more humble origins than those of the geniuses working at Pixar, who are, in this critic's opinion, nothing less than the finest in animation. Moreover, Chef Gusteau's proclamation at the start of the film that only the fearless can be great is surely Pixar reminding us all to believe in our dreams and be brave enough to turn them into reality. Pixar have truly delivered this time. Whilst their previous 6 films, ranging from Toy Story to the underappreciated Cars, displayed great animation and engaging stories, Ratatouille almost outshines them all. The film is a recipe for success with a great story, believable characters, another seemingly effortless score from Michael Giacchino, and is absolutely top-tier Pixar. Bon appétit! From Crawford-Clark Close-Up, it's... What are your thoughts on Pixar's Ratatouille? Do you agree with our high praise, or does this film sit near the bottom of your personal Pixar rankings? Whatever your thoughts, let us know in the comments below. Come and join us on social media. Search Crawford-Clark Close-Up on Facebook and Twitter. You can also send us an email with thoughts on the channel and suggestions for future videos. It's crawfordclarkcloseup@gmail.com. If, like Anton Ego, you're ready to return to Pixar hungry for more, you'll be pleased to know that another Pixar gem is on its way with the intergalactic adventure WALL-E. Until then, thanks for watching, and that's a wrap.